That last tier list we analyzed was pretty bad, so here's my version. Zhao Yan is actually a really good 1v1er, and that's pretty important in this game, so S tier. Nako and Limo are literally pushing double S tier, so if I had a double S rank, it would be them. I actually don't think Rise is as good as they placed on the previous list, so I'm gonna drop them down to an A. Monroe is cool for dealing consistent damage, but I still don't think she's as good as they said. A tier. Guan Yu has defense break and attack break and is a really good 1v1er, so he can go up to the S. Yuri is pretty good at just being a meat shield and surviving, bringing himself back up to full HP whenever he dies. A tier. Vi is really good, but it's important to know how to use her correctly, so she'll just sit in the S tier. Venti is great if you need AoE damage, so S tier. And Shane G has the rare revive, which is useful sometimes, but not everywhere, so A tier. Yasunori does have a really powerful ultimate, but it's just single target, so I'm gonna bring him down to the A. Dusk, I think, is very underrated because he teleports to the backline and gets a bunch of dodge, so he can go up to the A tier. Kairos has a lot of debuffs, he's a pretty good support, I'll put him in the B tier. Benzi's Shadow is really good for helping him spam his abilities like constantly, S tier. Alice is good on paper, but her damage is actually kinda low and her animations are kinda slow, so I'll put her in the B. Chen is like a super tank, but the matches in this game are really short. I think he's a D tier. Eula gets a pass just because she's invincible while channeling her ultimate, so she'll be an S tier. I think Aya is total crap. She has really low damage, D tier. Mai is a really good healer, so in that effect, she would be an A tier. Yu Huan is super good. She just attaches to an ally and makes them really powerful, but she's invincible during the channeling of it, so she's gonna be a double S. Cha sucks. F tier. Kaze is really good at jumping to the enemy backline and assassinating them really quickly. He could be an A tier if used properly. Reyna's a support, but she doesn't do nearly as much as the other ones, so she'll be a C tier. Barlet teleports to the back line, but doesn't have any damage mitigation. He just dies instantly, D tier. Lee has a little bit of knockback and healing, and she might be useful in the beginning, C tier. Pamela does insane damage and charms the enemy to attack their allies, so S tier. Wadjet has like 1 CC and then a pretty mid death mitigation, so C tier. Charlie's okay, does some decent damage and has some counterattack in that build, so B tier. And Boyan is pretty good if you're fighting men, but it's mostly women in the game, so B tier.